I gave the old, Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So the OnePlus 7T is here, and I'm contemplating whether or not I should get it. I really want to check it out, to be honest. But all in all, it's kind of like I know what I'm getting already. So recently I just sold my OnePlus 7 Pro, and the intent was to grab the OnePlus 7T at one point, or put that money towards just whatever new phone is coming. The 7T is very appealing. You get pretty much all the goodies of the 7 Pro filtered down to the 7T with a few tweaks and some takeaways. You don't get the Quad HD display and things like that. You get a different design, you get a little bit smaller screen, just some things. You don't get the pop-up camera, but ultimately the 7T is actually a really good purchase. Let's not front here. $599 for that phone, and it's giving you pretty much every bit of a killer flagship at a reasonable price. Now, I will say this, it's not the lowest and most affordable Snapdragon 855 Plus or Snapdragon 855 device on the market. To me, in that light, I think the better purchase over the OnePlus 7T is the Red Magic 3S or the Red Magic 3. But the 3S is the latest one coming, and it has killer specs. And they also outshined the OnePlus 7T. A lot of people don't seem to be focusing on this, probably because, well, neither one of these phones are out yet. You know what I'm saying? So the 7T is about to drop in about a week or so at the recording of this video. And then the Red Magic 3S, ooh, man, that's very tempting. It's $479. That to me is one of the low, if you find anything lower, comment down below, but I think that is the lowest priced Snapdragon 855 device with those type of specs on the market. That to me actually is the smarter purchase over the OnePlus 7T. If we're just looking at specs alone, that kills it for it right there. It comes in at $120 less, and you get everything and then some. So I've actually never used the Red Magic line. I was so tempted to get it, really want to check it out. But the 3S, they have this promo out right now where you can get pay $100 and it's like a coupon to buy the phone. You get some extra goodies and stuff like that for the first 100 people. But I think what they're going to do is just probably give that to everybody. Everybody's going to get their opportunity to get this. But I think the Red Magic 3S, man, when you just look at that on paper, and then it's an actual gaming device, so you get a little bit more tweaks. You get a very cool design. You still get great cameras on there from what I've seen, and I feel like people, before you rush out and buy the OnePlus 7T, definitely I would not sell my I wouldn't go from the 7 Pro to the 7T, because unfortunately OnePlus pulled a crazy move and there's no 7T Pro for the US. They're stepping over their toes now. They're getting way ahead of themselves, because they released the 7 and didn't bring it to the US, even though it works in the US. Then they bring the 7T to the US. Very confusing. But they have the 7 Pro in the US, and the 7T Pro is not coming to the US, so you'll have to import it. What? OnePlus, you got to get it together. That's way too confusing for the small community that you do have. So instead of jumping all over the place, releasing phones here, don't do colors here, you should have stuck to your plan and just tried to continue to be the flagship killers that you are. Because OnePlus does have some great phones, but reality is the only hang up that people can talk about on OnePlus devices is their software. Oh, it's fast. OnePlus phones are just RAM and software, and that's cool. But their cameras probably have never been on par with the likes of the iPhones or the Galaxy Notes and some Motorola phones, Pixel phones. They're never there. And I still find it strange that people keep saying, oh, I don't buy smartphones for cameras. That's bogus. There's no way you're investing all this money into this phone and you're just getting it because you want great software. You gotta want to take a photo at some point or another. You're gonna want good battery life. OnePlus delivers in battery life and software. It's nice, but I still don't like it over stock Android. That's a matter of preference. Some people say that OnePlus does stock Android better than the Pixel. That's not possible. The OnePlus devices are a skinned version of stock Android. Let's just see it for what it is. Stock Android, if you want to experience it, you got to get a Pixel. There's no getting away from that. You can't say, you can say this, but I disagree with that logic that the OnePlus does better than the Pixel devices with stock. That doesn't make any sense, because they're basically taking stock Android and adding to it skinned stock Android device. So with that being said, the Red Magic to me is, if you're looking for all that under the hood, and the Red Magic 3S and the Red Magic 3 are just a couple of the phones, but they come in at a lot lower price tag, and they offer more. So you got to decide. I gave the old You got to decide. You have to decide, am I going to stick with OnePlus because I want the latest software? Because reality is, I have a ton of phones. They work great, and they're not on the latest software. My Galaxy Note 10 Plus is not on the latest software. Is it running bad? Of course not. It's a beast. So when recommended device, if someone holds up the OnePlus and they holds up the Red Magic is giving so much more at a lower cost point. You cannot deny this. There's no way to deny this. I don't care how much you say, oh, OnePlus, it'll get software updates first. Okay, that's great. But just because a phone doesn't get a software update, does it stop working? No, it doesn't. OnePlus devices are cool, but I'm looking at it from a different angle. I think OnePlus, they're fumbling right now. They're stumbling all over themselves because they're releasing a phone in the US called the 7T that we didn't even know there was a 7. So some people might be confused that are new to the OnePlus community and say, the 7 Pro, that's looks like a better device than the 7T. Just saying. So if you are in the market to buy the OnePlus 7T, just throwing this out there, you don't have to take my advice at all, son. You could do whatever you want to do. I'm looking at it from my perspective of the OnePlus 7T is a killer device, but it is not a better purchase than a phone like the Red Magic 3S or the Red Magic 3. Those phones are offering, just do it yourself, man. Go put both phones on paper next to each other and just read. And again, the only argument that OnePlus fans will have is that, oh, it's going to get the latest software and it's the fastest phone on the internet. It's the fastest phone on the market. That's your argument. That's about it. Because again, going back to my point, which I think is a valid point, no phone can do stock Android better than a stock Android phone. It's a skinned stock Android phone. And don't get me wrong, I love OnePlus devices. So before you start calling me a OnePlus hater, I've liked pretty much all of the OnePlus devices, but I always have to take a realistic approach to it. And I want you to save money. And and this isn't like a promo video for Red Magic and to diss OnePlus. I just was sitting around and said, you know what, I gotta throw this on the table because I think people are missing out on some things. Just like the ZTE Axon 10 Pro, another fantastic option, but you'll ignore that option for your own personal reasons. Well, that brand, even though they've done everything that people have asked to this point, why not pick up the ZTE Axon 10 Pro is another fantastic option. $599 gets you double the storage, and you still get all the killer things that you get in the OnePlus for $599. And you can also grab one for $549. Just saying, there are plenty of options out there, but the hype train seems to flow along for what the media says online. You got to ask yourself, why are people ignoring phones like the Axon 10 Pro? Why isn't the Red Magic 3S getting a little bit more publicity than it should? It's not getting much at all. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. I love discussion videos. That's why smartphoneconversations.com is the plug. Be sure to hit that up. Check the latest post. I'm telling you, the Red Magic 3S, that's a killer device. If you just want all the specs thrown in a bucket, you probably should go with that. Yeah. The 7T looks great, but if I had to choose, because even though I'm a tech reviewer, I'm still a regular person like you. I'm a tech reviewer that's going to try to keep it all the way 100 with you and keep throwing options out there. Throw those options at you just to make you think. If you don't know what the Red Magic 3S is, go to their website. You're going to say, oh my goodness, son, I get all of this for $479? Just saying. It's your man Jay. What do you think about the Red Magic 3S and the OnePlus 7T? Which one would you choose? Yes, I know I'm holding an iPhone 11 Pro in my hand this entire video and wearing an Apple Watch. Blah, blah. It's your man, Jay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.